Don't make me call D Rose boy. He's 600, boy. With those words, Chief Keef made his friend, Upbringing Sardine, better known as D Rose, infamous, feared, and a target for the Chicago police and his ops. D Rose was a young kid from the streets of Chicago. He was used by friends and music executives to get rich, and quickly forgotten about when he no longer served his purpose as a shooter. Join us as we explore his upbringing, the murders he is credibly accused of committing, and has gotten away with, including an in-depth look into rapper Lil JoJo's killing, and the murder that he is currently locked up for, because there is evidence that he didn't do it. We'll hear what he has to say about his famous friends from jail, and more, on the Cartoon News Network. This is the tragic story of the player forgotten by Team 600. D Rose. Upbringing Sardine was born on June 10, 1996. He grew up in Motown territory, run by the Black P. Stones gang, on Chicago's South Side. His father was named Lil Sardine, but he was known in his hood as General Ranger. This is recognition of both his rank in the set, and the roots of his gang's original name, the Black P. Stone Rangers. General Ranger was shot, and killed on July 28, 2006, by Darcy Wiley, also known as Donut, and Christopher Gatewood. The not-so-dynamic duo planned to rob Ranger for money and marijuana in Fort Worth, Texas, but the robbery went horribly wrong. According to police, the evidence shows that Ranger refused to give up the goods, pulled out his gun, and took Christopher Gatewood with him when he was shot multiple times to death. Donut was arrested a week after the murder by U.S. Marshals and local police, as he walked near a relative's home in Clovis, New Mexico, which is right on the border of Texas. In May 2007, Donut was convicted for Ranger's murder, and sentenced to 35 years in prison. Upbringing Sardine was 10 years old when his dad died. Lil Sardine's death affected him greatly, as it would any child, but Upbringing was already heading down a dark path. There's a picture of a very young D Rose throwing up the 5, which wasn't a sign for hello, it signaled his pledge, on a 5-point star, that he was stoned to the bone. That's right. For those that didn't know already, D Rose was claiming stone, before flipping to Black Disciple, when he moved to the Cream Building, on the corner of 59th and Indiana, which is 600 territory. The 600 set of BDs was started in 2009, by D Thang and Lil Boo. D Thang's older brothers, Chief Domo, and Trigger, refused to let him claim their gang, known as Brick City, because of his young age. So, D Thang started 600 with his homie, Lil Boo. Lil Boo was actually a gangster disciple, as a lot of the original 600 members were, like 600 Breezy, Young Famous, and Stello. They all flipped to BD to join others like E-Day, C-Day, and members of Brick City like Huncho Hoodo, AK, and D Thang's older brothers, Trigger, and Chief Domo. D Rose went to a private school on 61st and Michigan, called St. Edmunds, now named Chicago International Charter School, or CICS Washington Park. The school is located in a BD territory known as Front Street. In 2009, D Rose flipped from Stone to BD. He was an original member of Team 600. That year, Fredo Santana from Front Street also gave Upbringing Sardine the nickname for which he would become known worldwide, D Rose. Was D Rose already a shooter at the age of 13? We don't know for sure, but he probably got the nickname for a reason, other than just his uncanny physical similarity to the former Bulls star. A lot of 600 shooters started to adopt names, and numbers of basketball players, to tell the world that they were shooters too. Rondo number 9, and C-Day 22 for example. Team 600 was playing a deadly game with their ops, trying to outscore each other. We don't know for sure whether D Rose had scored, or not, at the age of 13, but what we do know is that he maintained close relations with the Folly Boys in Motown. He was the link between the Stones living there, and the BDs in O Block. Brothers G Muma, and 50 Shot Mall, are D Rose's cousins, and considered outstanding members of the Folly Boys. D Rose was very popular among a lot of different gangs. He repped 600, Front Street, Lamron, and O Block. He was also cool with a lot of gang members from sets that were allied with them like TYMB, THF 44, and THF 46. One thing about D Rose which was rare is that he didn't just rep all of these different sets for the fun of it. He actually went sliding, and putting in work on their enemies for them as well. He rode with TYMB members to slide on Chris World, and Drill City. He went drilling with the Trigger Happy family to hit up Princeton Mob, and he was involved in the war between Motown and 50 Strong. If you listen to his upbringing though, things didn't have to turn out for D Rose the way that they did. His mom did the best she could to raise him, and he did the best he could to be a real nigga.
You know how I'm walking, man. It's D Rose from 600, man. Follow me on Instagram. Please, Jared D Rose. You know, just know how I walk. You know, shut out all I don't want blocks. Folks don't know how I'm walking. I'm just, you know, trying to be real nigga. It's hard. It's real hard, man. A lot of niggas. We just gonna get our shit together. The whole squad, the whole game. You know? Free all the gas, just a piece of the gas.
It's because, like, a lot of people don't really know how he rolls, you know, how he grew up, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody speaks about him, how he was after everybody was saying his name and all that. But nobody really speaks on his upbringing. So really with D Rose, you know, he the oldest of four. You feel me? His mama and his daddy his mama and his daddy is Motown originals. You feel me? Both of them. His daddy got killed way before all of this. His daddy got killed out of town. When he was a shorty, he got him, and it's his little sister, Amaya, which is Lil Pink. Then you got Amir, which is the third child, that's the boy, and then you got Armani, which is the girl. D Rose was the oldest of four, you feel me? D Rose daddy got killed when he was shorties. D Rose mama, she a gangster, she from the block, she from the town, she a real street girl, but she always wanted the best for her kids. Like, she always wanted the best for D Rose. And like, when we was a shorty, like I always tell y'all, the shorty, we went to the hood schools, Carter, Dunbar, Sexton, Dulles. D Rose and his siblings didn't go to none of them schools. D Rose and his siblings was going to the private school that was smack dab in the middle of the hood. D Rose never went to them schools when we was the shorties. When we was coming up 5, 6, 7, 8th grade, all that, he never did. He never went to them dirty schools. He never went to the schools that didn't have the money or everybody that could just enroll in. He never went to them. It was a private school in the hood. That St. Edmunds, which seemed like they owned everything in our hood. They owned the school. And D Rose and his little sisters and brothers went there. You feel me? Like, so, because a lot of people, they think that people be like products of their environment, or people turn to the streets because, you feel me, they upbringing or something that they didn't have or wasn't exposed to when they was shorties. But really, you know, like, you can come up the right way. You can come up the righteous way and shit could still, you know, the streets could still suck you in, bro. It's just weird like that how it works. You know what I'm saying? So D Rose coming up, he never went to no dirty school or none of the hood schools that we was all in. He never attended none of them. So now it get to the part where we getting a little older now. That school shit starting not to fly with a lot of us. You feel me? But we all made it out of 8th grade. But by freshman year, that school shit wasn't really flying on folk now. You feel me? Nah. You know, D Rose, he wasn't always D Rose. You know what I'm saying? He got his name D Rose for only needing one. All I'm gonna say about that, shorty only need one shot, it's over with. He don't need a lot of shit. No fucking, he only need one. You know what I'm saying? D Rose.
Now, the starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls.
In March 2013, LA Capone tweeted, "You gotta catch a body to be a true 600 like me, C-Day. Rondo number 9. Tay 600. Buka 600. D-Thang. Mineski, and D Rose. D Rose caught his first body on December 3, 2011. Dale Fisher, nicknamed Squirrel, was walking with a friend down the 6200 block of South St. Lawrence, headed to the corner store when a silver two-door sedan pulled up. D Rose upped his gun, and shot Dale 7 times in his body. Dale, who was only 16 years old, was pronounced dead at the hospital. D Rose was 15 years old when he killed another black teenager. I mean, what the hell is going on? Like, for real. Kids killing kids. Dale was a younger brother of Main from SDL, who allegedly killed Baldy from 600, in the seemingly never-ending cycle of violence. On August 8, 2012, D Rose was in traffic with King Von, T Roy, and C Murder from O Block when they spotted Terrell Dirty Rel Joshua. Dirty Rel's murder, and the immediate retaliation against White from O Block, along with all of the other killings associated with King Von, are explored more fully in our docuseries titled, King Von's Crazy Love for K.I., and King Von's Deadly Love for K.I. Dirty Rel was shot once in the chest, twice in the back, and 1 bullet struck him in the right side of his abdomen. We don't know for sure who shot the bullets that ended Dirty Rel's life, but it is a pretty well established fact that D Rose wasn't on the hit with O Block. On September 4, 2012, Lil JoJo from Brick Squad, who started the BDK movement, tweeted, at Lil Reese, "I am out here on my 2 feet. Where ya at, bitch?" That's right! Lil JoJo gave out his location to Chirac's Grim Reaper. At 6:13 PM, Lil JoJo sent another tweet that would cost him his life. "I'm on 069. I'm out here." Gang members, including D Rose, immediately gathered into 3 separate cars. They went sliding with a heavy force, because they didn't know whether their ops were plotting an ambush, since they were at war, but Lil JoJo wasn't that smart. An hour after Lil JoJo disclosed his location, he was sitting on the front handlebars of a bike. The bike was cycled by Dez, who was also from Brick Squad. They were on the 6900 block of South Princeton Avenue. Surveillance footage shows the 17-year-old JoJo looking back, once or twice in terror, as he was followed by the 3 cars. Can you even begin to imagine the fear, as the cars approached, closer, and closer? JoJo and Dez hopped off the bike. They ran in 2 different directions. Dez ran down the street toward the direction from where the cars came from. JoJo kept running in the same direction the bike was headed, followed by the 3 cars. Bullets started flying. Eventually, one of them caught up to JoJo, and he was hit in the back. The bullet traveled up to his heart, causing him to collapse by the stop sign on the 7000 block of Eggleston, as he was trying to run around the corner. Once again, we're talking about an unsolved murder, so we don't claim to know who was driving the 3 cars? Or who was busting their gun? But, we will discuss the usual list of suspects, and explain why they make the list. In the song, War, Chief Keef rapped, "All these damn frenemies, I'm a call up poo poo man." When a fan asked, "What the F is a poo poo man?" Chief Keef simply responded, 069. Poo Poo Man is a known shooter, rumored to have also been involved in the horrific double murder of OJ from Jaro City, and Lil D from Met Boys in 2012. Poo Poo Man was also very close to D Rose, bringing D Rose under his wing in late 2011. Chief Keef's homie Tato once deleted a Facebook post that read, "JoJo thought the same thing until he saw D Rose, Fredo, and KK pull up on him, boom boom." Tato and Fredo Santana both later claimed that Tato's Facebook page was hacked, and the post was fake. KK, who claimed both Lamron and Tay-Town, was murdered 2 weeks after Lil JoJo. Some have claimed it was retaliation, others say his death involved a different beef, with a different gang. In October 2012, J Money from O Block tweeted, "I'm sending shots. JoJo killer. I started the noise. Little do you know." Sometime after JoJo's murder, Ray Rilla from O Block got a tattoo. It reads, "JoJo K, as in JoJo Killer." Another name that has recently surfaced on the list is Loco, from Low Life. After Loco's death in 2021, from natural causes, several Brick Squad members started mocking him, and honoring Lil JoJo, which usually means that person's killer is dead. There was also a Facebook post, by Louis from O Block, in which he lists a bunch of murders, shouting out the sets responsible each one. He wrote, F Lil JoJo, shout out Low Life, implying that it was Low Life who was responsible for killing JoJo. Regardless of who pulled the trigger, the sad fact is another black life was lost. Our list of 7 suspects assumes that there was at least one driver, one shooter in each car, and that D Rose was in one of those cars.
Now, the starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls.
Please hit the like button, and subscribe for more stories like this from us. Fans immediately speculated that D Rose pulled the trigger on Lil JoJo. A few days after the murder, the police were looking for him. He was arrested for an unrelated crime, along with Juice from Front Street. A month after the murder, Chief Keef immortalized the name, D Rose, as one of his top shooters. The song, Love Sosa, was released in October 2012. In John Madden, Sosa rapped, 600 boys. I rock with those boys. D Rose boy, my lil bro boy. He gonna blow boy. Get you gone boy. With lyrics like that, Sosa put a big fat target on his homie's back for the police, and his ops to take target practice. No wonder D Rose got arrested. We'll let his co-defendant tell everyone what happened at trial, after this happened.
Yo, I remember these bitch ass niggas just shooting up my leg, man. It ain't shit, man. We still up on this hill, you know. Late night, me and Maintain. You know, they was just shooting at our legs of King David. It ain't no shit.
Some niggas said that me and D Rose got him trying to rob him, motherfucker shot him, trying to take his money in the studio and shit, they ended up knocking us up. Somebody picked us out of the video, saying that me and D Rose did it to him, and he ended up falsifying information at trial. He came to trial, got on the stand and everything, pointed us out, said he the one that shot me, he the one that got him and tried to get my money. He took my money, you feel me? We ended up beating that shit. The judge ended up got him in not guilty, you feel me? Both of us. We ran out back. That's when we came home. Fredo came and picked me up from the county. 2014. That's when Fredo hit. Yeah, so I was fucking with Fredo. And I told you Fredo was my man, you feel me? So I'm like, alright, bet. So he's like, yeah, y'all finna beat that shit. So we ended up coming home. On phone, my bond was 50,000 and D Rose shit was 40,000. We sat in that bitch for like 18 months.
What did you get charged with?
Till murder, armed robbery, firearm.
Oh, you was facing, what was you facing?
45 years.
45 years.
And we went to try and beat that shit, me and D Rose. That's how we came home in 2014. Me and D Rose came home 10 toes and mouth closed.
On January 16, 2014, D Rose was released from jail with no help from his famous friends. You heard right. He was held in custody until trial on $40,000 bail. That means it would have taken $4,000 to bond him out. He was facing 40 to 50 years in prison. He went to trial with a court-appointed attorney. Some of his homies were millionaires based, in no small part, off of his reputation, but they couldn't give their lil bro $4,000 to bond out? D Rose was jumped, and beaten up, by the ops in jail. His tooth was chipped during the attack. His homies shouted him out in songs, but couldn't bond him out, or help him hire a private attorney. They profited off of his street reputation, along with their slave masters, who will politely call record executives, and forgot about him when he got locked up. Luckily for him, he beat the case anyway, but this should have been a cautionary warning. Do you know how rare it is for a person to get shot and robbed, point out the gunman at trial, and for a judge to dismiss the case because of fabricated evidence? If you don't know, you better ask somebody. The police must have really effed up the investigation. I mean really, Effed it up. Obviously, the Chicago Police Department wanted D. Rose off the streets, one way or another. D. Rose beat the case brought against him like Rocky. He would not be so lucky the next time he was arrested. Think about this for a moment. D. Rose began his killing spree when he was just 15 years old with the murder of Dale Fisher. He caught his second body when he was with King Von and T. Roy, and they murdered Dirty Rel. He didn't chase clout for the work he put in, it just came to him. After his 16th birthday, and the murder of Lil JoJo, D. Rose was known worldwide from Sosa's song for being a savage. On February 12, 2014, a white van pulled up to Wenzel Richardson and his friends on the 6100 block of South Vernon at 8:20 p.m. A gunman inside of the van opened fire. Wenzel, who was called Big V, was 14 years old, shot in the head, and died on the scene. Big V was walking down the street with D-Money, Mook, KC, White Mike, and TB from Taekwon World. Yes, that TB, also known as Biko. He's the nigga that killed King Von's best friend T. Roy. Keep an eye out for our upcoming documentary about T. Roy, and the formation of the Get Back gang after his death, to learn more about TB. But, the person in this group, besides Big V, who is most important to our D. Rose story is D-Money. We will get to D-Money in a minute, but I have one more murder to discuss before we do. On March 28, 2014, Lil Mark would be shot dead at a bus stop that Lil Durk would make famous, just 3 days after releasing the song, No Competition, where he remixed Lil Durk's song, Competition, to diss Durk and his dead homies. The day after the song's release, Lil Mark was almost killed at the same bus stop where he was killed 2 days later by King Von, THF Rome, and THF Twilla. Why was Lil Mark standing at the same bus stop 2 days later, considering his younger brother, Tuka, was killed at another bus stop several years earlier? Who knows, but he was caught slipping, and murdered by D. Rose, 5-star from Folly Boys, King Von, T. Roy, and THF Twilla. A few days after Lil Mark's murder, D. Rose was arrested for killing Big V. Most people believe that D. Rose is innocent because he was with one of his cousins, in an apartment in Motown, when Big V was killed. Big V's sister told the police that she recognized D. Rose from a jacket that she had seen him wearing. The thing is this. There is a rumor that D. Rose loaned his jacket to the actual shooter. Whoever that person is, was wearing D. Rose's jacket when Big V was killed. Allegedly, that person is still alive and free. If true, it would rule out everyone, from the usual list of suspects, for Big V's death. C. Day and Rondo from 600 are both locked up. Lil Boo from 600 is dead, and Lil Lowe's from Front Street, is in prison. So, who knows who really killed Big V, except maybe Daryl Johnson. Daryl Johnson, known as D-Money from Taekwon World, was 13 years old at the time. He was pressured by older gang members, and the Chicago Police Department, to snitch on D. Rose to get him off the street for a crime he didn't commit. D. Rose's ops were scared of him. There are no street rules that these niggas adhere to anymore because snitches don't get stitches, they get clout. D-Money grew up, started gangbanging, and was held in high esteem by members of Taekwon World as an outstanding member. On September 1, 2019, he ran out of the back door with 007 Nate from Taekwon World and others, after Nate killed 051 Melly. On May 15, 2021, D-Money was struck by over 20 bullets and killed, after he allegedly murdered Jado from O-Block. You see, street niggas ain't shit. They lie, they cheat, they steal, kill, and snitch. That's what these bum-ass, bitch-ass, niggas do. D. Rose was sentenced to 40 years in prison because someone snitched on him for a crime he didn't commit. That doesn't mean he's innocent. This network links him to the deaths of 4 black men. Some link him to these murders, and more. So, D. Rose isn't innocent, but he's not guilty of the crime he was convicted of committing. D. Rose revealed in an interview that his bail was set at $100,000 in 2014. That means he sat in jail for 3 years before trial, when he had millionaires screaming free D. Rose in their songs, and it would have taken 10 grand to get him out. He went to trial with a court-appointed attorney. Remember when we played a clip of a young D. Rose stating that all he wanted to do in life was to be a real nigga, but it was hard? Let's listen to his thoughts following the death of his homie, King Von, to find out whether his time in prison has changed his worldview. This is the cautionary tale of D. Rose, the MVP player abandoned by his team.
You know, did you have any words for us regarding our dear brother, King Von?
I was gonna get to that. Like about that, I know this big, and my people will just look like what do you mean? They just have people view me as like D-Rose, like he bad. That's what he gonna want revenge, and this and the third, like, hell no, I don't want revenge. I don't want revenge, I don't want them to, whatever happened, happened. Just like let it go, because it's like, you just gotta put your pride to the side. People say money is the root of all evil. I wouldn't say money is the root of all evil, like just things like money and pride take a big part of all evil.
What would you say? What would you say to someone who told you, man, you're not trying to get, revenge, for King Von, and that's soft, that's weak.
Because it's gonna set our people back. Like, you know how people look at Chicago, not even just me, just our people in Chicago, period. Like, we just known for drilling and like just being vindictive. And it's like, man, they gotta start somewhere.
Have Chief Keef tried to contact you or something like that? Because he was big on yelling your name out and Kobe, and I actually knew your name before I actually seen who you were in the videos and stuff like that, because rappers used to shout you out. Do any of those guys kind of call you like Chief Keef or Lil Durk now? Right. No, I didn't know that.
That's just warm it up, right? I went to Charles on the area, and I sat on $100,000 bond for like 3 years. So, yeah, that's just self-explanatory.